Back in it. Had to cut it short yesterday, so we're going to continue this phase walking, this phase talking. Alright, so the main integers on how this is working on the inversion 0, 16, 32, 48, 64, 80, 96, 112. Anywhere between those regions is going to cause the same effect. But you would want to work with the main numbers from 0 to 16 to 32, you know, in straight halves. I mean, you could do extra math if you feel like doing more math than music, but I prefer to do music instead of math. I mean, music is mathematical, but, I mean, come on. So, like, as you go from 0 to 127, see how it goes? Okay, and for grain, that's the same thing, except for things aren't cycling up. Things are getting dense, clustered, and then scattered. Now, what you have to understand with the phase oscillator engine is that you can go deeper than 128. If you turn it down to 0, you're already at 32, at 8 foot, if you have it set to this. Oops, let's go here. I already have some precursors set up, like the filter envelope and all that extra, you know, drive and all that shit. I just don't have it activated. Alright, so let's go to here. Bring this way down to 0, okay? Listen, well, let's bring it up to the normal octave. We'll play A or something. Now, see 32? 64. You see, that's a cycle, but where are we at? 8 foot. Okay, so we turn it back down to here. That's this. See? 32 foot. That's a sine wave, right? Single cycle. Okay. Kill it. Turns back on. So 32 foot, like I said. 64. 128. 256. 512. And you're like, you can't get no play on that. I can't. Let me show you. Out of human hearing range, I know. Subsonic. Expand your Blofeld today. Seriously. They give you a lot of cool stuff with the factory and stuff that's given. I don't prefer the factory sounds that were given though, because I think I come up with some really cool stuff myself. From the hip. Click, clack, boom. But what you do is you set oscillator 2 to 16. That's the inverted wave, or the inverted sine at 32. I probably should have set this shit up too, but I didn't. But the LFO is already set up. Double check it. Set to single cycle on 0 on the envelope. The phase. And you hear it going through cycle. So now you got that extra harmonic. Let's change it. You hear nothing barely. Except for me slamming these infernal squeaky keys on my Alesis. Now, LFO it, because you know it, but actually tell LFO to shut up real quick. Restored the power by plugging oscillator 1 into oscillator 2 on the FM. I told you the patch cable. This is how this engine works. Now we'll tell the LFO to come back on and talk that noise. Okay, phase oscillation done simply. Phase distortion in Yata, FM, all that shit done quite simple, no mod matrix needed, and blah blah blah, right? So, what we do, I told you can mix waves. So we put that to a triangle. That was a sine going into a triangle, and now it's triangle going into sine. Still phasing each other out. Tune in to that FM radio. See? Now I can say you can use the same LFO when you have it going like this, but if you really wanted to get into intricacies by playing with degrees of the LFOs, I showed you that before, because you can with all of them. When you start screwing around with the degrees, and if the LFO is affecting pulse width, then it's going to affect it at a certain area. Because I was already breaking down some info today. I think 11 degrees is 32, 28 is 64, but I believe that's only at single cycle mode. Because 45 through 127 would be at the max. You see, because 45 degrees and 90, degrees would be at 127, which would be the max. Let me explain that. Or show that, excuse me, the 90, 127. And it's like a clock too, because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's like the octaves, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1, which would be 8, or like I say, back to 1. It's just a cycle binary number. I don't know, man, it's crazy. Listen, okay, this is phase. Oh, shit. So we'll break down this meta degree information in a bit. Not right now. That was a little bit of inspired thinking before this video. So mixing it up, you tune into the FM radio, so you get that frequency, that fuzzy thing. Now this is pulse. And I know people are like, well, why did you separate the pulse from the square? Well, the pulse, you can move it around. The square just cycles itself. So it would be, imagine if I drew it in square instead of sine here. That's how it would go. The actual pulse is actually still smoothing out. Like if we were to, bring in the actual square and then do this, it's actually still doing this. But I enhanced it a bit. I also inverted it. So imagine this upside down, going like this with it phase, and I'll show you that here in a second. So imagine this going in phase upside down with this, right side up. Oh my lord, that'd be crazy, right? So we inverted it, but right now we got it mixed with triangle. Remember I said, 512 is out the human hearing range, blah, 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 right? I know. And I will have to sadly say this enough, that the pulse wave, in reality, if you think about it, it's actually done in single cycle, because it has to be like this in order, it has to be this in order to become this. See? So it's inevitable, because that's how you have to do it. That's how you have to do it. And then it just cycles over and over. But since I did it like that, you can expand it to a longer degree. Just like the rest of them. I'm working on trying to do other type of width modulation. You have to give me a second. It's a rough endeavor. I've been thinking about it many moons. I just can't figure it out yet. When I do, we'll have other shapes and width modulation, if you will. So that would be crazy, right? Sine width modulation, triangle width modulation. That'd be insane. I would love to share that. All right, so look, take it back up to 8. We got the inversion. In fact, we don't. Now we do. Self-syncing when you run them together. It's like self-syncs. You hear it? That's... Now throw a filter on that. Let's drive it out. Might get loud. Brace yourselves. Yeah, phase walker, phase talker. I gotta do some things. I'll be right back. I'll catch you.